and welcome to Banking Frontiers Live. I am Parinita Likhite and today we'll be talking about fresh perspectives on marketing. We have Vishwanath Divya here with us today. He is the head of marketing at India Post Payments Bank. Welcome Vishwanath sir. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, Pranita. Thank you so much for having me here today. Uh, I am working with India Post Payments Bank. I look into the 360 degree of the entire marketing function, uh, including advertising, branding, PR, and we are pretty new as a bank, very late entrant, but somehow we have been able to give a tough competition to the market players. Uh, since we are a differentiated bank, our lot of marketing strategy is little, you know, different than the mainstream marketing strategies. And since we are also being a public sector entity, working mainly for the underbanked and the unbanked society, people who are not able to access the formal banking system so far, they are the ones who are actually getting benefit because of us. So we are very hopeful that we will be able to create a kind of a large banking system where every common man will have the access to the formal digital banking through IPPB. Very nice question. Lot of developments happen in the field of marketing, and as you see in other fields in the management sciences, marketing per se, since it's a very human centric, customer centric, and it's evolving every day. Uh, to understand marketing, we sometimes have to look inside ourselves. If we understand our own behavior, we understand how the customers are going to behave for a particular trigger or a communication. The development in the marketing sector also happens primarily to understand how can we help customer to do a kind of a self discovery where they can understand what are their aspirations that they want to pursue, and what are the kind of products and services that they would like to consume. And these are the choices that they make when they actually respond to the communications from a marketeer, which also defines for us the kind of a 360-degree approach, what kind of segmentation that we are talking about, what kind of targeted communication that we have to define. In the entire ambit, we see a lot of developments happening. Let's say, for example, in the traditional marketing style with where we see ATLs and BTLs of the world, uh, in the above the line marketing, media planners have moved into programmatic buying decisions to match the exact segmentation approach that they have. In the BTL, their timing, their precision of execution has improved a lot. They actually are now able to communicate relevant messages to different persona which are available in the society today. In UOH, we see digital again coming and playing a big role. Uh, the developments are happening the way a billboard showing the content, displaying the content depending upon the size of the crowd, kind of the crowd, gender mix, age mix, and what would be the most uh, you know uh, probable communication which will hit the audience in a live, I mean, kind of kind of real time kind of situation. Now it also has been seen that a lot of innovation is coming in the digital space, since it is a data driven. And I personally have seen a lot of AI based tools coming up, and these are wonderful tools. We are today, we can actually implement artificial intelligence in all the fields, probably in the basic communication, product recommendation, email personalization, e-commerce transaction that we are seeing today. uh, and I also am seeing now that there is a customized creative and content development which is happening with the help of AI. So a guy in Chennai and a guy in Delhi at the same time will be looking two different communications from the same brand, since the AI helps us understand what is uh, the kind of content which will be consumed by these kind of customers. So it has become very, very agile. So this entire development set that we're looking at helps us, uh, tell a story which hits the customer in the right way, the right time. Having said all that, since marketing will continue to deal with real humans, and by virtue of that, it also derives a lot of strength from the behavioral sciences. So, leaving apart the tools and the technology, a lot of development are also happening in understanding the behavioral science and the kind of intersection which is happening between the behavioral science and the marketing. Uh, Now, if we talk about behavioral science, it can change the way marketing is done. Uh, like from taking a targeted approach to being empathic. Uh, since marketing is a function known for being very, very aggressive in nature, behavioral science also helps us understand that these kind of consumer behavior or buying decisions which typically are being taken by the customers, which tool only does help us measure after effect of the process. But since we are also supposed to make certain decisions based on forecasting, planning for the future, these sciences help us understand that. So, in terms of the behavioral science or the intersection between the behavioral economics and the marketing, is something which I've seen a very, very great development. 2017 Nobel Economics Prize was given to Mr. Thaler, who was one of the guy who was helped us, put up so many theories which are now helping us to understand this market very, very well. So I presume these are the major development which has happened in the field of marketing recently. Yeah. So as we're talking about the technology being a very kind of a strong player in the entire front ending of the marketing delivery. Uh, so we see e-commerce, including those kind of unicorn technology startups, who are the ones who are using the marketing, the tools like anything to reach out to each and every human live on this earth, you and I including, and we see that happening every day, uh, in terms of so many communications, so many ways that they are reaching out to us. They are not leaving any stone unturned in terms of telling their proposition to us. So e-commerce, including technology startup, are the ones who are the leaders. Uh, I mean, not very far, but close to that, we are also seeing consumer durable and FMCGs upping the game, and since they are one of the biggest spender in terms of advertisement and reaching out, communication programs, outreach programs for customers by doing so many activation programs on ground, you will find them not very far behind these e-commerce companies in terms of holding leadership position in marketing. Uh, that's uh, that's very important actually. You know, in my view, marketing is a mind game. For consumers, they need to be told why they should buy a particular product. Similarly, for brands, the CEO need to have a buy-in on the effectiveness of marketing program to drive home the revenue. Uh, there is a very, very thin line of perception between expenditure and investment in terms of marketing. If the top management looks at marketing merely as one of the many expenses, many times the benefit of marketing doesn't get realized by the brands. Uh, in my long career, with a chance to be in close interaction with CXO level functionaries in almost every organization, uh, I have learned the most important lesson of life is customer and distribution centricity in all marketing related strategic planning shall be the cornerstone, and that has saved up many of the decisions that I took take in my day-to-day life while planning for the marketing. So basically, engagement with the top management has been more or less the same. It has happened that obviously, I mean, PowerPoint deck is something seasoned, I mean, time tested kind of engagement tool for all of us. Since we have also learned a lot of new lessons which has never happened in our lives, what and how to perform our duties, being away from the office, away from the team. Especially the financial industry is typically dependent on many of the work not being done remotely. Most of the things happens when you are sitting with the team, taking decisions on the plan, and taking it up with the senior management, engage with them one to one, face to face. So this was a really challenging time for us, but we somehow were able to tide it. The engagement tool we have also started using of late, a lot of photo stories. We have started sharing the voice of customer videos, just to make them understand, even if they are not able to go to the ground and see it themselves. We brought those kind of insights to their desk by having those videos. We did extensive digital and social media campaigns based on analytics, and those analytics reports, were a very informative, engaging tool for them to understand what is happening on the ground. We also shared the same thing, and it was a kind of a privilege for us to actually take this entire information not only with the senior management but also with the field distribution team, another team at the corporate office, so that they are all aware how well their organization is doing while they are not able to see it themselves. So that's how we engaged. Product is traditionally having one to many and many to one relationship with most of the functions in the organization. We have seen product, which is a typical traditional ally for us, since we bring them customer feedback for their development work, and they give us a kind of a product which typically market requires, a customer requires. So we have a very kind of exchanging relationship between us. Uh, we also have seen of late, with the advent of martech, market automation, data driven analysis, AI driven tools, a lot of things getting, a lot of collaboration happening with the IT department and the project management teams, which now have become closest team that marketing has started collaborating with. In many of the corporate, we also see the corporate strategy team having a lot of dependency on the marketing analytics, because that's where the numbers comes from, and typically they define a lot of their strategy for the short term as well as the long term. So product, I believe, and IT, I believe, today have become the biggest collaborators for the marketing function. That's quite obvious. I mean, to whomsoever you engage with will give you those admirations. But in addition to that, we talked about product and IT. We also see a lot of admirations coming in from customer service team. If marketing is able to help communicate, uh, the most of the feature of the product to the customer, uh, the life of a customer service guy is sorted, because since he will have to have less of a problem to be solved and less of a complaint to be resolved. So they really admire uh, the well driven campaign of the marketing team, and they believe that if it is done well, lot of things are sorted.
It helps them as well.
Yes, absolutely. There are many. It depends what functionality within marketing are we talking about, since not one of the software takes care of every part of it. So, for example, marketing is more about customers, and one should have a good understanding of the CRM system, a good sales system around. Like we work with Microsoft Dynamics 365, and there are many. There are many like Salesforce, Zoho, HubSpot, and each one of them delivers top-notch, service delivery depending upon your requirements. So some of them are fit for on cloud, some of them are fit for in-prem, some of them are fit for large size organization. So depending upon where you are and what your requirement are, a good CRM system like the ones I talked about are something very very important to have in your within your ecosystem. uh, Coming next to the let's say social media management tool, uh, we again look at many of the solutions which are there. May it be a Buffer or a Sprout Social, or the Hootsuite or the Joho Social. These are all good tools. I personally like the Sprout Social very much because they have got a lot of functionalities which matches to my requirement. Again, depending upon your individual expectation from these tools. uh, Applications are very very nice. They help you in social media message scheduling, creation of the content, curation, promotion, including the analytics, and you are able to give the insight, uh, make some interpretations, and deliver a top-notch deck for your management to understand how are you moving in the social media space. Uh, then there is now marketing automation has come in the picture, which is required by most of the marketers today, because the campaigns are so many, and you run parallelly for products, services, what not. Maybe at the branding level you have to run some campaigns, and these management of the campaigns have typically been requiring for marketing automation for a long time. Now today we see the marketers of the world, which is from the Adobe, Pardots, HubSpot. They are good tools, uh, and really helps you plan the entire campaign the way you want for your organization to deliver the expected results. So these are the tools which I see very very important in today's uh, new generation marketeers' life. Very important. Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult question to answer. You are asking to become a devil's advocate uh, on this subject. See, marketing. Okay, so marketing is a very exciting career. Uh, it requires really high energy levels. There are certain attributes which remains constant, but becomes pros and cons depending upon what side you are on. For example, I'll tell you a couple of things like marketing requires you to be good at chasing numbers. Now, if you are good at chasing numbers, it will create excitement for you. If not, the same attribute will become a source of stress for you. Likewise, marketing requires a lot of travel. So if you are good at that, you will enjoy meeting new people. But if you are not, you will start feeling the fatigue due to travel, and you will start not enjoying it at the same time. Uh, it gives you a higher salary comparatively at the entry levels. If the students are listening to me and they were trying to make a career in marketing, it's a good news for them. The marketing offers a better salary at the entry level, which leads to higher achievement in a short time. But it comes with its own state of requirement, which is like the expectations are very very higher from the marketeer, and it's like a constant being there, trying to solve the problem of the organization, and deliver the result. So it has its own pros and cons. Uh, it is a very very diverse, in terms of job diversity. It is very very diverse. There are various subsegments like advertising, brand promotion, retail, market research, public relation, customer relation, whatnot. Uh, and at the same time, you have got every industry type which requires some or the other kind of marketing guy. So it's a big universe out there for people to be absorbed. Uh, but yes, at the same time, the tactical side of marketing is very, very different when you compare from one industry to the other industry. So you have to be really uh, clear about the choice of the industry, the domain, the kind of business segment that you want to be in. It is a very very high exposure domain. You are visible to the top management in a very quick time, uh, but that puts an additional pressure on you to be quite responsive at all the times. We sometimes have to respond to the queries of the senior management team even at the late nights and early mornings, so you have to be responsible. So these are attributes. It depends, you are whether enjoying it or not enjoying it becomes pros and cons for you accordingly.
Do you feel love it, you will enjoy the field.
Yes, if you enjoy it, it's quite challenging. It's quite engaging. You learn a lot of things by being out there, meeting people, understanding their thought process. Your interpersonal skills goes top notch. Uh, you become very very relevant socially at least. So that's my take on the pros and cons. See, since they are already on the path to become marketing professional, so even if I suggest any book should be in line with what they want to become tomorrow. So even if it is a non-marketing, I think this book called Think Fast and Slow uh, is a book by again Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman. It's a good book. If somebody want to read that, it reveals how our minds are prejudiced, and when we think that we are logical, it's actually we are not. And it's very very good book to give practical techniques for slower and smarter thinking to make better decisions at work, at home, in every setting that you are. So it will take your understanding about the world a notch above, and will really help you when you become a full-fledged marketing professional. Will really help you in taking decisions. So it's a good book. I have read it. It's not a new book. I think it's a more than a decade old book, but it's still relevant. Uh, for me, it's a good book. See, marketing, I don't think anybody needs actually any specific book on marketing to understand what marketing is. It's actually very very common. As I told you in the beginning, it's a part of behavioral science, and we all understand it. In one way or the other, we understand what marketing is. But if there is a small book, I mean, not very lengthy, not very voluminous, there is a book called This is Marketing, which is written by Seth Godin. And this is a very concise book. Anybody can read and get a sense, of the core of, what all the marketing wisdom he has. And he has written it in a one compact, accessible, timeless package. Uh, this book actually tells you how do you work, on the work that you are proud of, whether you are a startup founder or a small business guy or part of large corporation. So even if you are a non-marketing professional, whatever profession you are, this gives you a good way of looking at yourself being the product, you being the brand, and how can you use your talent and skills to actually build the entire aura around you. So it's a very good book. Uh, I have read it not till the end, but I found it very, very intriguing and interesting.
That's interesting, sir. So that's it from our side. Thank you so much for taking out the time and being here with us today. It was a pleasure having your insights, and I hope to see you in more such interviews.
Thank you, Pranita, so much for having me again here. And I think what you guys are doing in great. It helps people like us to voice out our opinion and connect to the world outside. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you.